Thank you so much, Linda.
OK, time to make your reservation and time to pack those bags, because Fawlty Towers is officially open for business again.
Can you believe this, Linda? It's almost 50 years since it first hit our TV screen. Star and creator of the show, John Cleese, is bringing the iconic series to the West End.
It's going to be based on 3 of the show's best-run episodes, including this one.
You speak German?
Well, a little. I get by.
Ein bisschen.
Wir wollen ein Auto mieten.
Well, why not?
Bitte.
Yeah, it's a little bit tricky. Would you mind saying it again?
Please?
Could you repeat? Amplify? You know, yes, yes?
Yeah.
Yeah, yes. Well, we'll come back to that.
Wollen
Voluntary?
ein Auto mieten.
Auto. Oh, I see. You're volunteering to go out to get some meat. Not necessary. We have meat here. We have meat here in the building. Polly, just explaining about the meat.
Oh, we weren't expecting you.
Oh, weren't you? The Germans. Don't mention the war.
I see.
Good ear.
And he joins us now. And this was the studio that you filmed some of Fawlty in, right?
And I think Monty Python. I think we were in the same studio. Years ago, 1969, and Fawlty Towers started 75.
And the Builders.
The Builders.
It was the greatest studio complex I've ever been in, and then the BBC sold it.
Yeah.
So you feel right at home here
Yes,
today?
I do. It's wonderful to think I'm back here after over 50 years or whatever it is.
And we're still talking about Fawlty Towers 50 years on.
Yeah.
I mean, did you ever think those 12 episodes would be so iconic?
No. When I left Monty Python, because I felt we were beginning to repeat ourselves, and also my dear friend Graham Chapman was an alcoholic, which didn't help, I just wanted to do something with my wife, Connie Booth. And we went and had, in those days, the way the BBC worked was I went and had lunch with Jimmy Gilbert, who directed me when I was doing the Frost Report with the 2 Ronnies.
Yeah.
And he said, what would you like to do now you left Python? And I said, I don't know. I'd like to do something with my wife. And he said, oh, fine, well, why don't you call me and tell me what you want to do and I'll commission it.
Oh, my God.
Unbelievable.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I know. Now it would go to a committee that would then decide whether it should go on to another committee. And somebody once said a camel is a horse designed by a committee. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
You never
Those
get
were the
a great
days.
thing.
But, John, when you did... Because it's such an iconic show for 12 episodes. I know you must have been asked this before. But did you just feel that after the second series you'd done enough?
Well, we first felt, Connie and I had the same feeling. We felt that we could do another series and everyone would say, it's very funny, but it's not as good as the first 2 series. And then the only reason to do it then is money.
Yeah.
And in those days, I had some.
You were OK.
Yes.
So now the decision has been made to bring Fawlty Towers to the West End.
That's right.
And obviously you've got to cast it. How do you feel about someone else playing Basil?
I don't mind at all, because I think of myself as a writer. If you want to understand Monty Python, nobody gets this. We were all writers who happened to perform. So when you write something, you're not immediately thinking, oh, I'm going to be doing it. You're writing a character. I mean, in Fish Called Wanda, when I wrote the scene, I was hanging upside down. Halfway through, I suddenly thought, I'm going to have to play that. You see what I mean? I'm writing for anyone.
But you're not thinking about the fact that you're going to do it.
It's lovely to see how, lots of different people playing Basil. I think William Shakespeare would agree, because there's been quite a lot of Hamlets, you know? And Hamlet's only 4 hours.
Yeah.
Basil did 6.
Yeah. So when you are picking Basil, did you go through, did a lot of people audition, or did you know quite quickly?
Well, C.J. Ranger, who's co-directing it with me and doing all the heavy lifting, she did, for example, Fools and Horses. She directed that, which ran for 5 years. She knows what she's doing. So she saw an awful lot of people and narrowed it into a smaller lot. And then I was away most of the time, so I was doing it via Zoom. And we just had these people in to audition. And the extraordinary thing was how good they were.
Yeah.
We could have filled almost any one of those roles 2, 3, 4 times.
Really?
Well, there's a lot of great actors around.
I was on the tube the other day and I went past a poster and I saw that Paul Nicholas is playing the Major as well, which is such great.
Oh, he's wonderful.
Yeah.
And he's playing it differently.
Is he?
From Ballad Berkeley. I love Ballad Berkeley.
Yeah.
But you see, almost everyone almost everyone from that show is dead.
Yeah.
You know? I show clips sometimes and I look at it and all gone. And Bernie Cribbins.
Yeah.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know, Joan Sanderson.
Bernard Cribbins was one of your favourite cameo, or not cameo, but like he had these great character actors.
Yes,
for one
exactly.
episode.
Well, I loved Joan Sanderson doing Mrs. Richards, but I've got to say, I thought Bernie Cribbins was absolutely wonderful. I would give him the award, you know, the Basil.
It was such a lovely episode, that, isn't it? Because he just gets put upon and put upon.
You see, the thing is,
the briefcase
Connie and
moment
I,
at the
people
end.
say, why is it so funny? It's because Connie and I used to take 6 weeks to write an episode. Nobody takes 6 weeks. Most people take a week.
Really?
So if you take 6 weeks, and sometimes we'd start an episode and then not know where it was going to go, so we go and do another episode and then come back to it later. And if you've got 6 weeks per episode, during that time, you're going to have a lot of funny ideas, not just 1 or 2.
That's
So,
incredible.
and we always wrote got the plot worked out before we ever wrote a line of dialogue. Whereas most people have seen one and starts writing the dialogue. Well, you want to know where you're going and what's the ending going to be like.
Which episode are you most proud of, John?
I think Basil the Rat. I think there's a moment when the food inspector looks at the box
So
of
funny.
biscuits and there's a rat. And Basil says, desperately covering up, would you like a rat? And then a few moments later, he's dragged out.
Yeah.
Remember, on the floor. I love that moment.
And John, the stage show is based around 3 of your favourite episodes.
Yeah,
The
well,
Germans.
Mrs. Richards' episode.
Yeah.
And Bernie's episode.
Yeah.
Bernie did the Hotel Inspector.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we had to have the Germans.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So how hard was it to sort of amalgamate all those 3 into one script?
I don't remember, because we did it a long time ago.
Yeah.
We did it in 2015.
OK.
And then that next year, it was done in Australia, and it was very, very good. I went out twice. I went out for the casting, and then I went out because what I'm good at is coming in at the last moment when CJ's done all the hard work and saying things like, don't do that in that order. Do that first, then that, and then that. And then they do it, and the audience in the rehearsal room will laugh. It's very rewarding. I'll just say, don't look at him when you say that.
So you can just
Or
see
can
when
you
those...
stand a little
nuances.
closer together? And
Isn't that lovely that you've got those moments, you can see those beats and those moments of comedy? What's it like writing with your daughter? That must be lovely.
Oh, it's adorable. The nice thing about her is she's got a blacker sense of humour than I've got.
Has she?
Oh, yes. She does a wonderful stuff about women's rights. She said, I believe in a woman's right to stay at home and not work.
The whole
Brilliant.
thing is, it's just, like you said, it's all context. Like we talked with Jimmy about it, and the whole thing with you as a comedy is context.
Somebody said to me the other day that people with a good sense of humour understand a change in context. And what I said the other day, which has been in the papers a lot, is that people who are literal-minded find it very difficult to see different contexts. So if you're in the Midwest of America, where they're very literal-minded, I mean, they believe every word in the Bible has to be taken literally, despite the fact that Jesus Christ taught in parables.
It's a terrible time we've got to finish this
parables supposed to be taken literally.
No.
You see what I mean? And if you have that cast of mind, they can only see one meaning, and they can't see that there's different contexts. Like, look, if you're having a funeral, you will think of an absolutely disgraceful joke, but you won't shout it out to the...
John, you've got to leave it there.
We've got to cut you off. I can't believe this.
Fawlty Towers to play at London's Apollo
believe
Wednesday.
The other thing that interests me so much...
Loose Women are coming next. Kay, what's on the show?
Thanks, Dermot. Well, after the Rule Business ransacked, we're asking what would you do if you were burgled. Also this morning, we are talking about lots of other things. Richard Arnold is here, revealing the touching advice that Kate Garraway gave him. And we're on our best behaviour because William Hanson joins us. We'll be back in 2. Thank you, Kai.
The other thing that I like so much about that...
Josie and Craig going to be here on Monday for some bank holiday fun.
Strictly in Emmerdale star Calvin Fletcher is going to be joining us on Monday. See you soon.
Thank you, John Cleese.
Bye.